Now, if you listen to Mr. Rowley, Dr. Rowley, member for Diego Martin West, who cannot even walk in his constituency without supporters shouting and booing him.
Fresh from a political battering from the Section 34 debacle, 5 of government's frontline ministers took to the airways for damage control. With TOP leader Ashworth Jack present, it seemed to have kicked off the campaigning for the THA elections.
The political leader of the PNM is also from Tobago. So if that happens and they lose the Tobago Assembly election, his integrity in terms of the political leadership of the PNM in Trinidad will now be called into question.
But a substantial portion of the airtime purchased was used to respond directly to opposition leader Dr. Keith Rowley and his scathing attack on government for the Section 34 controversy.
Keith Rowley has become desperate. And we have seen over the last few weeks in particular a level of hypocrisy from the PNM and Rowley that we had never seen before, at least that depth. When he was fired, Manning said he was a bitter man, desperate. Then he got a voice to speak out against allegations.
Primetime airtime was also used to do some media bashing.
You see his headline? You see his headline?
Yes.
Ish, Steve, 176 million.
That's a whole story.
Now, this headline is since January this year, but it gives the impression this was last week.
Even though the program from the government end had been promoted as one featuring various MPs and cabinet ministers discussing pressing issues in the country. The hour-long program dominated primetime television spots simultaneously across 5 networks: CNC3 Television, CCN TV6, CNMG, Win TV and IETV all broadcast the political program. Well, inquiries by CNC3 today revealed that it cost roughly $161,000 for 3 television stations to carry last evening's broadcast. But the big question now is who footed the bill for last evening's political program? Well, my colleague, senior reporter Samson Nanton, picks up the story from here. Sam?
Yes, Khamal, we posed this question today to the Minister of Local Government, Dr. Suraj Rambachan, who also happens to be a very senior member of the UNC, and he told us that the partnership paid for it. Now, remember, the partnership last evening was represented by the UNC, the TOP, as well as the Congress of the People, the COP. They all came to dinner, but who would take the tab? Was it the state? No, says Local Government Minister Dr. Suraj Rambachan.
No state funds are being used for those programs. That's a party program, and it is a program that will be funded by the party every Wednesday night on CNMG, and depending on the response of the other stations, we are prepared to also put it on the other stations. We are a political organization, and we are always planning for the future. This was planned long before the PNM meeting last night, and in fact it is something that we have launched in different ways, and what we did last night was decide that we are now going to go on the airwaves. It will also go on the radio, and there will be also a follow-up through the newspapers. So it is not something that is any reaction to the PNM.
A party event, but the People's Partnership is not a party. In fact, it is a coalition of 4 parties: the United National Congress, the Congress of the People, the Tobago Organization of the People, and NJAC, all separate entities.
As you saw on the platform last night, you had the TOP, you had the COP, and you had the UNC, the partnership.
So it's being funded by all 3 parties?
It's a party matter, but the answer to you is funded by the party.
But COP insiders are telling CNC3 that they played no part in the funding of the event and that the party's executive did not give approval for anyone to represent the party, as they sought to make a clear distinction of Minister Anil Roberts' role at the televised event, being there in his capacity as a minister and not as a COP representative. They say his views were not reflective of the party as a unit. And with regards to a massive rally to be held at Mid-Centre Mall in Chaguanas on Saturday, Dr. Rambachan says the partnership's supporters called for the rally to show their support for the government.
The rally on Saturday is a rally that was called for by the activists and the supporters of the party when the Prime Minister had a meeting, a pre-budget meeting at her home in Philippines last Sunday evening. The objective of the rally, therefore, is for people to show the strength which this party has and the fact that they are not going to turn the clock back again. There's a good feeling among the supporters and activists of the People's Partnership. And if anyone is running scared, it is not the government of Trinidad and Tobago. The government of Trinidad and Tobago is on a roll because we know that what we are doing is to the satisfaction of the people.